Hey everybody, Coach B right here. Great show. Everybody's joining like, oh my goodness. Hello, 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 6 hours, time to teach. Give me some hearts right now. Blizzard, yes, Blizzard, thanks for the directory and your offer to add to it. Stephanie, thank you so much. Nancy is doing the same thing. She's sharing. Let me see if I can figure out a way to share. Let's see here. I'm going to try to share. Yeah, sometimes I can't. My friends, yeah. So Kim, hello. Kim, you're going to love today. 6 Howards, you're sharing on Twitter. Please share all over the place. Hello from San Diego. Helen Boutros, your name is familiar. Gatona, thank you so much. Shelly, welcome. Hello from New York. And Kim, you're not going to believe today, chocolate math. Hi, y'all from Texas. Keep on sharing, my friends. Invite your followers. Hello from Missouri. Bo Huntress. I'm a St. Louis boy. 6 Howard says yummy. Vero, thank you so much. Yo-Yo, I sent you a note on Facebook. Rome, Italy, would you invite me to Rome, Italy to do a conference if you have any challenging kids in Rome? I can't believe that. They must have immigrated from the United States. Hello back to you in New York. Keep those stars coming. Some exciting stuff today. The big excitement is how do we link character education and math? Oh, that's a good one. And what on earth is chocolate math? Oh, that's a lovely one. And what about the people who are trying to stump Coach B? Pilar, we have wonderful wild kids in Rome. Get an administrator to invite me. Hello, Laura. Rhonda, hey, I hope you come to Dubai. Yo-Ya, get me an invitation to come to Dubai. We don't just drop in places, my friends. We'd like to, but we kind of are a little polite. We wait until somebody asks us to come along. I've got 1 minute until the show starts. And my friends, try to stump me. I want doozy questions. I'll show you very soon where to, when are you coming to Tampa? I'm going to be in Florida early June, and I'm going to see if we can open that up to other teachers. Details for how to invite, send me an email or send me a note on Facebook, Yo-Ya. But it would be great to have an administrator. Your birthday, all right, early June. We got a minute or two to go before the great show starts. You're teaching math this year. Blizzard, are you using chocolate math? How many school districts? One school district usually would be able to cover the expenses. And we have a great trainer, 2 great trainers on the East Coast, Kate Bowski and Giselle Sereno, so the travel wouldn't be bad. So my friends, if you want us to pop in this summer anytime, send me an email. I'll give you the address. You're the largest in Long Island. Well, gosh, sounds like a match made in heaven. All right, here we go. So our show today is character education, math, and my dear friend Chris Rexted is online. And pay attention when Chris Rexted answers a question because he knows his stuff. All right, you're going to play Stump the Coach today. Oh, even better than Super Speed Math. Email your hardest questions to Nancy Stoltenberg at wholebrainteaching.com. Take a picture of that screen if you want to email a question and kind of roll the dice and see if you can get a live question, get a live answer. And Nancy's ready. All right. So here is a doozy of a question I'm going to answer at the end. What are your suggestions? And this is from Monica Clark via Executive Board Member Sarah Matter. Keep those hearts coming. What are your suggestions for the modification of behavior for students who have extremely low cognitive functioning? Who would love to hear the answer to that question? Biffy Bluebird there is very excited. Don't you agree that's a doozy of a question from Monica Clark? And aren't you glad she asked you? Six Howards wants to know. Helen Boutros wants to know. Yeah, yo-yo-ho, time to teach, says, yeah, very good question, says Stephanie. Blizzard says, oh yeah, Nancy's giving some applause. We will answer that question and many more, 5 or 6 more before the end of the show. Let's do a utterly shameless commercial, whole brain teaching for challenging kids. And as I'm answering questions, I got to tell you, most of the newest and best answers are in 122 amazing games. Nancy says, get these books. Thank you, my dear friend. So that's our shameless commercial. They're on Amazon.com, and they are bestsellers, my friend. Here is the new book. Who just can't wait? Who has stopped? Look at this. She's in love, says Stephanie. Look at this powerful zoom. Whole brain teaching toward the light, letters to a young teacher. That's coming. Writing, reading, math, critical thinking, grammar, homework, academic language, you name it. We can't wait to buy this one for our new teachers. Hope. I am so happy to hear that. So that book's coming. Old teachers like WBT too. You're right. Can't wait for the new one, says Rhonda. All right, here are our rules. Let's go over them quickly. Our rules. Rule 1, follow directions quickly. Rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Woo! Rule 4, make smart choices. And here comes character education. Kindness, leadership, courage, invincible grit, creativity. Who is using our character education virtues? Let me know. Using the virtues. Who's digging them? Every day, says Stephanie. Well, of course Stephanie is. She's fantastic. 6 Hours is. Yo-Ya is. Laura is. Gatana is. Rhonda is. Every day, says Riley G. Mom. The kids love it, says Time to Teach. Love them, says Jeannie. Stephanie, you're welcome. You deserve even more praise. Blizzard is using them with her middle schoolers. 2 gringas starting tomorrow. They're great at home. Me and a team teacher, I am, and the kids. All right, my friends, let's just charge on. So we want to focus on kindness on Monday, leadership on Tuesday, courage on Wednesday, play invincible grit on Thursday. These are all covered in previous webcasts. Nancy will put up an address where you can see the replays of these webcasts 24/7. And then Friday we do creativity. So we want to see them all week, but one a day, week after week. We think, here's what we're thinking. We're thinking it's more important to teach the kids how to be good human beings than even to teach them core skills like reading and writing and math. And goodness knows how poor we are at teaching reading, writing, and math. What are we doing with character education? Anyone see anything going on in our society that says, goodness gracious, we need a little character education? Like in the debates for presidential candidate? Any need there for character education? I think so, yeah. The debate, says 6 Hours. Oh, my friend, I could just, I won't, but you know, I'm sending you a psychic message. What a school teacher thinks about the behavior of our political leaders. More some other time. I got better stuff to do right now. Here we are. So here's a diagram you can use to teach your kids about the virtues. All this is previously covered on our webcast, as Nancy mentioned. She'll mention that address again. We want to infuse character education into all academic subjects. So how do we infuse character education into math instruction? Is anybody bold enough to admit, hey, Sarah, you're going to love this today, Sarah. Sarah, I'm answering one of the questions you sent me. Is anyone bold enough to admit they have no clue how to introduce character education into math instruction? Come on. Will you admit it? Are you like, how do you do that? I'm taking a drink. I'm seeing some honest teachers right here. No clue, says Laura. Cindy says, sure, me too, not a clue. No clue, says April. Someone raised their hand. 6 hours raised their hand. We use it in morning meeting throughout the day, not math though. Well, that's what I'm talking about. I will once you instruct us. My first thought would be grit. Geo Jerry, that's pretty good. But check this out. What if I was going to show you a way? I hope you're sitting down. What if I was going to show you a way to infuse math instruction with all 5 virtues? So we'd have kindness math instruction, leadership math instruction, courage math instruction, invincible grit math instruction, and creativity math instruction in math instruction. Thank you, Jeannie. That's what's going to happen right now, my friends. I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Here we go. Whoop, whoop, says someone. The core piece. Look at this. Pick a set of math facts or let students create their own, then apply virtue tasks. So that the math sentence frame is blank plus or minus or times or divided by blank is blank because. That's the core sentence. So beginning students choose addition. First and second grade students choose addition or subtraction. You see what I'm saying? That's the core sentence. Who's digging the core sentence already? I haven't even folded in the math stuff. We don't want just kids to know the math facts. We want them to explain why 7 plus 5 is 12. That's a whole other thing. Let's just talk about that for a second. Yes, it is amazingly simple. Thank you, Metter. Listen, because is key. It's hard enough to get kids to say 7 plus 5 is 12. And then you say, well, why is 7 plus 5 12? And they say, because 7 plus 5 is 12. They have linked the two numbers in their head without much understanding about what it means. It's just like this. I'm taking off my glasses. Listen to me. Listen to me. Ever notice in kindergarten we can get the kids to count to 30 pretty quickly and they reel it off? And then you say to a kid, what's the number after 26? And they have to start at 1 to get there. It's because the sequence of numbers makes sense as a sequence, but not as individual facts. So if you say, what's the number before 25? Oh my goodness. So we don't just want kids to know that 7 plus 5 is 12. We want them to understand why. Could I get some exclamation marks and some hearts on having kids understand why 9 divided by 3 is 3? Yes, says Hope. Oh, Nancy's on board. Common Core all about the why. You're right, Metter, and we're going to show you the why today. Yes. It's so good that we're all on the same page. Here we go. Now, here is kindness math. Okay, don't comment for a second. Let me just come in a little closer. Here's kindness math instruction. Pick a math operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. And then for kindness math, use please, thank you, and you're welcome when orally filling in the blanks with a neighbor. Well, that's what we want in kindness is please, thank you, and you're welcome. So fill in the blanks with a neighbor. And how would you use manners with math? You'd say, I'll zoom in. Look at this fancy zoom in. Please help me with this problem. Thank you for helping me. Could I please do the next problem? Thank you for letting me go next. Is it important? I wonder who would be thrilled to have their kids say, please, thank you, and you're welcome while they're talking about anything. Stephanie loves it. Well, Stephanie loves it. It might not be too bad. Give me some more stars there. Hearts, my friends. So please, thank you, you're welcome. That's kindness math instruction. And notice, beyond thrill, says Jeannie. Laura says, oh yeah. Well, then you're probably interested in knowing what leadership math instruction is. Here we go. We haven't even started stumping Coach B yet. It gets better. So here is take a picture of this screen, would you? It's the golden always manners. Always say please when asking for something. Always say thank you when receiving something. Always say you're welcome when you hear thank you. That, in a nutshell, would make our country a nicer place to live in. The golden always manners. Our leaders, my friends, could use the golden always manners. Just those three things would make this a happier world. Laura says, amen. Mr. Bucud says, hi, Coach. Hi, back at you. No doubt, says Stephanie. Stephanie and I are on the same wavelength today, but that's usually the case. Let's talk about, I'm glad you're with me on this. Kim says absolutely, and she's an incredible principal. One of the lead principals, one of the lead whole brain teaching principals in the world, Kim Cummins, down there at Martin Pettigene in Louisiana. Right here. Well, in leadership, as we said before, we want you to act like a kid 2 grades higher. So use big gestures like a student 2 grades older when filling in the following with a neighbor. Big gestures like a kid 2 grades older. That's going to give us leadership with the math stuff. Notice we keep the same focus. You do, Kim, but you contribute a little bit on your own too, Kim. Notice we keep the same focus. In kindness, we want manners. In leadership, we want kids acting 2 years older. Courage. Work with a neighbor using class yes and mirror words to prepare to lead the class and filling in the blanks. We start our courage lessons with public speaking. So get ready with a neighbor to courageously lead the class in math instruction. Invincible grit. Now we're going to play the invincible grit game when we're doing invincible grit math. Grit game is always essentially the same. Give kids a challenging task. If they stay on it, they get to roll the dice. What do we mean roll the dice? So have them write out the answers for 2, 4, 6 minutes or whatever. And you write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the board. You see everybody's really staying with it, showing grit, showing stamina, showing focus. The most improved kid picks a number from 1 to 6. The most improved kid or another kid gets to roll the dice. If the number comes up, 30-second dance party. If the number doesn't come up, they say, we've got grit, we don't quit. Here's the important point. Kim Cummins, I'm sure you're all over this. 6 hours, I'm positive you're going to love it. Stephanie, oh yeah. Students learn to celebrate effort, not success. That phrase just came to me. How important is it to teach our kids to celebrate effort, not success? So their number doesn't come up, they go like this. We've got grit, we don't quit. That's an important life lesson, invincible grit. Teach them invincible grit all day long. We're trying, we're winners. We've got grit, we don't quit. So that's how to integrate invincible grit into math instruction. Time to Teach says, my kids work harder now than when we had prizes. It is the growth mindset, my dear Andre. And now how do we get tough little cookies? How do we get creativity? Write a letter to your pet explaining the answer using examples your pet would love. That's creativity. Would your kids dig writing a letter to a pet explaining a math problem? Oh my goodness, yeah. Here's a sample letter. Stephanie. Here's my sample letter. Dear Jack Dog, let me explain why 7 plus 5 equals 12. Let's say you have 7 bones. You are so happy. I give you 5 more bones. You're even happier. This means that you have 12 bones in all. Make it even easier. Look at my diagram below and count the bones, Jack Dog. So they write a letter and they make a diagram explaining to Jack Dog why 7 plus 5 equals 12. Yeah, it's important that kids know these math facts, but more important, all the way through this virtue education math, they're understanding the reasons. It is an integration of multiple subjects and objectives. There's writing going on here. There's reading going on here. There's character education going on here. And there's some math. But it gets better. I said many times it gets better during the webcast. Anybody still believing me? And at a closing, love your owner. That's great. Blizzard, you're marvelous. It's going to get better. Just wait. Nancy, you know about chocolate math. Every second better than the last, says Hope. Hope, I don't recognize your name, but I want you to keep on coming back. Here we go. Chocolate math. Chocolate math. We've asked kids to explain why one number added, subtracted, divided to another number. Explain why that's the case. Here's chocolate math. Here's what you got to do. Either get this PDF or make one of your own and make 100 little chocolate squares. Laminated. Take a picture. How excited will your kids be when they get the laminated 100 chocolate squares? Tiffany Pierce. They can tweet it if they're older. How sweet. They'll love it, says Stephanie. 100 chocolate squares. Laminated. Tiffany shared on Facebook. Thank you, Tiffany. Now, how can you use the chocolate squares? Makes the boring 100 chart exciting. You'll use this tomorrow, says Heather. It certainly does. So you just do this. If they're trying to prove that 4 plus 3 equals 7, they mark on the squares a 4 and a 3, and they see it comes up to 7. You've done this with 100 grid, do it with chocolate. 7 minus 3 equals 4. Mark off 7, take away 3, see what number's left. That's how you prove it. I'm going to show you how to prove some hard ones. 7 times 3 is 21. Make 7 groups of 3 and count up. Go to 120, please. Go ahead, my friend, and you go to 120 with my blessing. Now let's do a hard one. Let's do a real hard one that knocks them out. How about this? Show that 6/8 is 3/4. Holy cow, I'm speechless, says Tiffany. Show that 6/8 is 3/4. All right. First of all, top row, mark off 8 chocolate squares. Then make 6 of them yellow. Second row, mark off 8 chocolate squares and 3 pairs of them. So now I have 4 pairs of 2, and 3 of the 4 pairs is equal to 6 of the 8 pairs. Do you see that? 3 of the 4 pairs is the same as 6 of the 8 pairs. Right there, equivalent fractions. I know you want more. Check out this one. You're going to flip. Mary has 40 oranges. She gives half of the oranges to Sam. Then she gives 1/5 of the oranges she has left to Dee Dee. How many oranges remain? Ay, 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 colored marker. Mark off 40 oranges. Now she gives half of the 40, so make those red. And then she's got 20 left. Divide 20 into 5 parts and mark off one of the 5 parts. She's got 16 left. Kay Reed, you're just coming in at the good stuff, chocolate math. How do you like it so far? 5 character education virtues woven in to mastering, not just mastering, but understanding math facts, and then using chocolate squares to amp it up. Could I get a 10-finger woo, my friends? I'm not proud. I'll ask for it. Here's to us. Teachers, we have the most fun. Meet score objective, says Nancy. Love, love, love it, says Laura. Can't wait for summer conferences to see more. Oh, the chocolatey goodness, says Hope. Thank you, my friends. All right, here we go. Let's see what we really got. We have 5 virtues times 4 math operations times hundreds of math facts. That's a gazillion math games. A totally free all-year character education mathematics curriculum to you from Whole Brain Teachers of America. We're not a business, my friend. We're an education reform movement, changing the world one freebie at a time. All right. So, character education at the forefront, and it's a brand new component for us. Shame on us we didn't get here sooner. Kids don't learn virtues by hearing about them. They learn by applying them to their lives and rehearsing virtuous conduct. Yes, Yo-Ya. All right. Now, tentative WBT conference announcements. This is tentative. Tentative but free. Mid-June in Nevada, K-12. Let me tell you something. I'm going to prove to you we're not too keen on money. I think a reasonable price for a 3-day conference, a bargain price for a 3-day conference would be $100. Last year we had 1,400 teachers register. That's $140,000 we left on the table, my friend. I'll tell you something else. I don't bring my books to the conferences. Why not? If I brought my books to the conferences, then our relationship changes. It's not teacher and teacher. It's salesperson and customer. And you've got to think, he's telling us this stuff to sell us some books. But if I'm not trying to sell you books, you might think he's telling us this stuff because it works. You see the difference? It's not salesperson, customer. It's teacher to teacher, and that's what all of us in whole brain teaching do. Lots of free stuff because we love helping teachers. All right. Somebody's leading a WBG book study. Thank you. All right. Here's the other free conference. Big South in Louisiana. And I think we might have an announcement in the next week or two. We've got to. So that's mid-July. One in mid-June, one in mid-July. How do we get you to come to the biggest district in New York? I'll tell you how. I will put my email address on the screen before long. Wow, prayed us out the first day. Amen. All right. You want a conference? I'll tell you. Just hang on 2 seconds. Not doing signups yet, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. Pay attention. For Sunday Scope viewers, I will announce an early registration only for you. When I know, I will not announce it to anyone before I tell you. And Sarah Metter, our tech whiz, among 1,000 other skills, will set up a registration and I'll give you the secret link. You think that's fair? Is it fair to give you an advance notice of these conferences that are going to close in an eye blink? I will tell you this, my friends. Close in an eye blink. Because in order to get districts to host these big conferences, we had to promise them that their teachers could attend. Yeah. So we've already pre-given away hundreds of seats. So get your friends to follow at ChrisBiffle. All right. Time to play Stump the Coach. Here we go. Stump the selected. I'll answer questions about anything. Email next week's questions to nancystoltenberg@wholebrainteaching.com. Here's Monica Clark. What are your suggestions for the modification of behavior for students who have extremely low cognitive functioning? That was our top question. Here's the answer. Use the recess practice squad, but just with class yes. The lower or more challenging or more diverse your kids are, the lower you have to set the bar for improvement. So if I had a class that was very challenging in terms of academic or intellectual abilities, I put the recess practice squad on the board 10 minutes before recess. And I put class yes. And I'd say all we're working on here is class yes. Now there are recess games and there are class games, but the class games matter more. When you go home, your parents don't say, how did you do at recess? No, they say, how'd you do at class? So When I see someone who's not doing too well on class yes, what I do as a teacher is I look away and I say, I got a friend over here who needs a little bit more recess practice. Don't look at them. Short term, simple to improve. Those are the two variables. Short-term improvement, simpler tasks to work on. So 5-10 minutes before recess, let's see how we do on responding to class yes quickly. So one more time. The lower your kids are, the more difficult the challenge. Don't expect all day improvement. Don't expect morning improvement. Don't expect improvement on everything. Pick a skill for a short period of time. That's the first question. Let's go on to the next one. Now, after a while, put a green recess play squad on the board. And if you draw an arrow from an X to the recess play squad, somebody in here escaped. Somebody in here is going to get full recess. Keep it mysterious. Thank you, Bo Huntress. If your kids won't practice at recess, here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking a 30-second practice, my friend. And most teachers are willing to trade a 30-second practice in exchange for improvements in behavior. Kim says kids come from tough places and it works. Thank you, Kim. Now, here's the next one. This is from Nicole Guzman. Essentially, she says she's tried everything. Scoreboard, practice squad, and super improvers, and not much is helping. What can she do? Very similar answer. Put your scoreboard up a few minutes before recess. Say, I'm going to mark negative marks for a slow class yes and positive marks for a fast class yes. And if the smileys win, we all go to recess. If the frownies win, we all stay in for 15 seconds and practice rule 1. Again, use the recess box for individuals, use the scoreboard for the class, short amount of time that you want to see improvement during, and a single strategy. And if the smileys don't win, let them spend 15 seconds, and then 30 seconds, and then 45 seconds. Make it a game. Thank you, Yo-Ya. Now, here's another one. Let me get you closer. Small goals work. How do you modify WBT for ADHD, nonverbal, autistic, and bipolar students in regard to rules, instructions, and games? I really need the bipolar group. Thanks. Who can't wait for the answer to this one? Let me know, my friends. Who can't wait? Because, baby, have I got an answer for you. Yes. 6 hours can't wait. That's right. The harder you practice, the shorter your practice needs to be. Thank you, Andre. Sitting on the edge of my seat, says Laura. K.E. Hum says, we're just talking about this. All right, here we go. Let me show you a brand new strategy that even my veterans like Sarah and Andre and Nancy haven't seen. We'll talk about emotionally disturbed students who are defiant next week. But you could actually use a lot of these techniques. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. Listen to me. Listen. I'll just explain. You list the day's activities on the board. Reading, writing, math, phonics, etc. Next to one activity right before recess, you list in green mirror words. And you say, when we get to math right before recess, we're going to play a game. It's called mirror words. The goal of the game is to see if you can respond like kids two grades older. So you do traditional instruction all stinking day long. Yeah. And you show them all the stuff that's coming. But there's one bright part in the day when we're going to do mirror words. Look at the diagram again. If you do mirror words once and normal instruction 10 times, what are they going to be asking you the next day? Make them ask for whole brain teaching games. Oh, the hearts are flowing up the screen on that one. I'm going to go over this one again. It's a goodie. Now we're talking the most difficult, toughest, most challenging, most defiant kids. And we've got them. List the activities in black. One activity is going to be mirror words, or it's going to be class yes, or it's going to be hands and eyes, or it's going to be scoreboard, or it's going to be super improver. Don't worry about running out of games. We got 122 of the stinking things. But by one activity, you're going to play one green whole brain teaching game. And special ed kids will eat this up. Whole brain teaching for challenging kids on Amazon.com is #1 in guess what category? Special ed. And we never wrote it for special ed. So, traditional instruction and a dab of whole brain teaching. We have found with autistic children, I'll tell you what, I'll do autistic children separately. But here's the thing. Doesn't this make sense? Listen to me. Doesn't this make sense? The more parts of the brain involved in learning, no matter the kid, gifted or special ed, the more parts of the brain involved in learning, the more the kid's going to learn. All right, my friends. We've got a couple of more quick road. Can you use the scoreboard just with one challenging student instead of the whole class? No. Don't give the whole class a frowny for the actions of one kid. Try recess practice squad as described in Whole Brain Teaching 122 Amazing Games. Yes, you won your question, Pilar. Question. How as a first-year teacher can I implement these strategies into a classroom at a school where these methods are foreign? How can I implement it mid-year? Start simply by saying class yes and other WB techniques and explain that they're games. To start at mid-year, say, I've been waiting until now to use an advanced learning technique. I think you kids are ready. Here's another one. After doing Teach OK twice and accompanying with the scoreboard, how do you handle 3 out of 16 kids still not responding appropriately? Go to practice cards. I'll give you a quick one. Try all this stuff little by little and don't give up on anything, but practice cards are very powerful, described in Whole Brain Teaching 122 Amazing Games. You have every kid's name in a library card pocket holder. See a kid off task, you give him a white card. That means 2 minutes of practice at recess. Off task again, another white card. You give kids a maximum of 2 white cards per day, and you send a note home. And you tell the kids, your card stays in the pocket till I get a note back from home. And there's some other variations. But go to practice cards for your older kids. Now, here's the deal. Was one of your questions a winner on today's webcast? If so, email Nancy Stoltenberg and we'll give you 2 guaranteed admission tickets to our national conference. Thank you, Metter. So if I answered your question today, you're a winner. Email Nancy Stoltenberg and she will send you back a guaranteed admission. For next week, start emailing Nancy now your hard questions. I want tough ones. Email me, says Nancy Stoltenberg at Whole Brain Teach. Take a picture of that, would you please? We want your toughest questions. You don't go to medical school to cure colds. You go to work on the toughest problems. That's right, Sarah. Nancy takes questions at all hours. All right. So people are asking, I'm going to tell you, next week we're going to do character education reading and Stump Coach B. So then we'll cover everything. Character education writing, math, reading, and critical thinking. Free. And we need writing technique is 3 grades behind. We will help you. So here is we will give you a free PDF download. Character Education Math, that's today's program. Just go to facebook.com on pages Whole Brain Teaching. We have lots of freebies. Now, if you want on-site training, email me. There it is. Take a picture. You want on-site training? Email me. If you don't have Facebook, make a friend who has Facebook. Now, financial details always come up. We charge about half of what other national teaching outfits charge. We don't charge teacher, but we do charge districts. Oh, love to see those beginner scopes. How can I text you? Just leave me a message on Facebook, my friends. All right. The dates for the conferences. Mid-June in Nevada. Yes, more than one district can definitely get involved. Mid-June in Nevada, mid-July in Louisiana, and we should have exact dates within the next week or two. Then we will open up registration just for you. So get your friends to follow at ChrisBiffle. All right, one last time. Get an administrator to email me, and we'll talk over the phone. And the conferences at your site, because I'm retired, will be during the week. I'm not saying my dear two gringas. All right. Are you all in? Are you all in with whole brain teaching? If you are, let the cities flow down the screen. Are you a member of Whole Brain Teachers of America? All in. Let the cities and places flow down the screen. Give us some states too. Hannibal, Missouri, Illinois, Louisiana, New Jersey, Willis, Texas, Sebring, Florida, Lexington, Ohio, Port Lucie, Damascus, Maryland, Brentwood, Long Island, Bolivar, Tennessee, Brentwood, New York, Bossier City, of course, Louisiana, Post, Texas, Indian Nation, thank you so much, Nicholasville, Kentucky, thank you, Rhonda, Mobile, Alabama, Sherry from South Carolina, thank you, Sherry. All right, my friends, until next week, Texas City, Texas, Pasadena, California, until next week, Whole Brain Teaching, Character Education, Reading, and Stump Coach B. We love answering your questions. Makes us think. My from Egypt working in Dubai. Oh, Yoya, hello. It's Coach B signing off. Power to the teachers. Power to the kids. And share wildly and widely. God bless us all, my friends. See you next week.